Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us today or this evening, tonight. My name is Jay Love, and welcome to Turning a Moment into a Movement. I also represent the Justice for Gerard Movement. As you guys, um, just in case you're new to our platform, Gerard is the reason why we're here. He was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't do, had no knowledge of, and he went to prison for that crime, innocent and in prison wrongfully. And because of that journey with him and that journey with others who I met along the journey who had similar stories, we created this platform called Turning a Moment into a Movement. We come in here on Fridays to talk about injustice and wrongful convictions. And our mission is to bring awareness to the wrongful conviction of Gerard and all the others who are wrongly convicted, overly sentenced, medically ill, and medically frail in our community, to inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the need to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to wrongful convictions. And that's our mission, and that's why we're here every Friday, especially this snowy Friday here in Michigan. Um, we had 70, 50 degrees a week ago, and now we have snow everywhere. It's crazy, but hey, we're here, we're warm, and thank you for joining us. This week, we're going to have a conversation, and the title of our conversation is Unmute and Stand Up. And we're going to talk about our why we are standing up, what we can do to support those who are standing up, using your voice. That's why we're here. And we want to encourage and inspire others to join us. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring on my favorite friend and colleague, Reverend Tia. Hi, Reverend Tia. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful. How are you? Jay. It has been a journey. I love you so much. Let me tell you, girl. It's
To
something
Reverend Tia.
when um I can look at you and look at what the steps that you've taken, and it's like ironing, sharpening iron. Sometimes you can be with leaders, and sometimes people fight to say who's going to lead, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. But I love it. I love it when I can look around and in my inner circle are people where we just glean from one another. And it really has been an awesome journey. And I've learned so much from you. Um, and
For me?
it has not been, it has not been easy. Um, and I just feel like this platform has called us forward. And your son set precedents in so many ways for so many people, bringing so many people together. And so we are here today, and we're still talking about, not just talking about justice, but we've been making some ways now. We have
Right.
had a lot of accomplishments. So I'm coming to you from the choice zone. I have quite a few things
Yeah.
happening coming up, Jay. Um, and the choice zone is where your choice matters. So you can check it out at thechoicezone.com. There are a plethora of things that I would help people with consulting, life coaching, trauma release, you name it. I also do corporate compliance and helping people jumpstart their business. Paperwork. A lot of times people don't want to do the paperwork, and I understand. So I do assist people with that. And I do have a couple of events coming up. And one is one of my good friends, Jenna Carmichael. She is a part of G100, and she is going to be having what we call makeup and cocktails.
Mhm.
So, and all of these proceeds are actually going for women to help women who have experienced domestic violence. So we're talking about makeup, but we're talking about self-esteem. We're talking about being genuine and we're going to have a blast. So I will make sure Jay puts that flyer up. You can also check me out at the Choice Zone, or if you want information, just hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram, the Choice Zone on Facebook, and also Tia Littlejohn on Facebook. So I'm excited, Jay. I know that this conversation tonight is one that we need to do. And it appears like every day I look at what is happening, what's been done, but most of all, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we have to ask that to ourselves individually and collectively. What are you going to do for yourself and for your family? What difference are you going to make? So thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, Revertia. You're right. What are you gonna do? We are so busy waiting on somebody else to tell us what to do. But it's time for us to figure out what are
Yeah,
you gonna do. So
that's right.
yes.
That's right.
Hey. So I see Trischè in here. I'm gonna go
Mr.
hit
Shea.
her. Yeah, I see her just pop in here. Hold on a second. Greetings, Trischè.
Hey.
Yay!
How y'all
We
doing?
sending love and prayers and to you, Trischè. People don't know that you've been under the weather.
Yeah, yeah. I've been under the weather, but my spirit has never been better. Nah, just
Better.
yeah, I feel so blessed, and I think that's the thing that kind of keeps you going in spite of anything, right? Is just realizing that no matter what's going on, you're blessed, and try to center gratefulness out of anything that you go through, right? I don't want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Delusional, right? Because I know I got some real
Right.
serious issues going on. But when I look at it from a perspective of no matter what's going on, I truly feel blessed and I am so grateful um, just for life. Life is a vapor, and I don't think we really understand. It's like here today, gone today. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to maximize every day and understand the blessings that we all have. Yes, a lot of hell going on, and we in the fight for that. But in the midst of that,
Mhm.
we've got to remain grateful, and that is exactly what I feel in my heart tonight.
Yes.
My fluttering
Having
heart, palpitations heart.
an attitude of gratitude,
Amen.
no
Amen.
matter what's going on.
That's
Well,
it.
I'm glad you're here, Trischè. We're
Me
having a great
too.
conversation amongst us. Um, we talk about it all the time, but we can just really get down tonight. So,
Yeah.
yes. So speaking who under the weather, Dwayne Brooks.
Oh wow. Hey
Dwayne
brother.
Brooks, how are you feeling?
Um, I'm much better, much better. You know,
Yeah.
I was a little shook there for a minute because, like I say,
Mm.
being in prison all of those years without health care, it's you never know what's gonna be going on inside you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
So I'm
I'm
here.
so glad. Yes, you looking good.
Yes,
I'm happy
yes,
that you're here. This conversation is right down your alley. So I'm glad that you're here to join us to have this conversation with us tonight.
Yeah, it's been kind of hectic for
yes,
me, but it's a good hectic though.
Yes, that's what's up, Dwayne. And last but certainly not least, unless Allie pop in here, I see Attorney Hugo Mack.
Much love and respect. Much love and respect, my family. How are you? How are you?
Hey bro.
Brother Dwayne. like your brim, brother, like that brim, you know. So it's all good. Well, you know, J Love, a long time no see. It's so see,
Right.
see,
Right about
you know, see, and the thing of it is, J Love, first of all, you know, all praise be to God and Jesus Christ, you know, my personal Lord, Master, and Savior. Attorney Hugo J. Mack here with you, Dr. Mack, by the way. For my detractors and haters, don't hate. So never hate. So you know, J Love, and so proud to be here, and proud not in my own sense, but proud for what God has enabled me to do. There are 47,000 lawyers in the state of Michigan. I'm the only one with you here today that did not parachute from heaven from a lofty perch to be with you. I've come up from hell through the presence of God and Jesus Christ to be with you today. So I feel I'm uniquely qualified to be with my great colleagues on this journey. You know, I understand what it's like to suffer a wrongful conviction. I understand what it's like to pay a debt you didn't owe. I understand the ridicule and the shame, humiliation, coming out, can't get a job, stacking tomato cans at Myers. Look, I understand quite well, okay? You know, and the stigma and the psychological trauma. See, people don't understand. Going to prison is really like going to war, okay? Even for people that are stone cold guilty. You know, we give our military soldiers billions of dollars for post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, in the olden days, used to call it being shell shocked, you know, being shell shocked from artillery going on around you. So every time you hear a car backfire or a cap gun go off or somebody drops something on the floor, you hovering in fear for your life. So part of the inhumanity of this system is they do not realize when you send somebody to prison, there's a collateral consequence, not to mention a collateral consequence on that family and the friends, but a collateral consequence on that person when they come out. That's a punishment that far exceeds what the judge gave them. It far exceeds what the judge gave them, you know? So that's why the overly convicted and wrongfully convicted, they are the class A victims, okay? They are the class A victims. That's not to diminish somebody who's victimized from a sexual assault or a breaking and entering or a carjacking. Nobody's minimizing that. But we have a system of laws designed to vindicate them, okay? Designed to vindicate them. We have laws in the state of Michigan, the Victims' Compensation Act, which in some small way can help to compensate somebody, you know, for being a victim of a crime. We really don't have that kind of compensation for a man or woman wrongfully convicted. And contrary to what some people believe, it's not easy as some people think for a wrongfully convicted person to recuperate money from the state of Michigan. No, it's not. It's like you're convicted and have to fight uphill, okay? Uphill. Even though you've been vindicated per se, which is a term I really rarely use in terms of people who have had their cases dropped, not processed, because the prosecutor 99% of the time reserves the right to bring those charges again. Okay. So it's a conditional release, not actually a vindication. So, but yet and still, I'm happy for people who have their freedom, who have their liberty from being wrongfully incarcerated. So I understand, you know, what it's like. And so God, just like, you know, Mordecai told Esther, perhaps we are here for a time such as this. Okay. We are here for a time such as this. So I know for me, in the time span I have left, God has me here for a time such as this. He didn't bring me back from hell and restore my law license, something that never been done before, for nothing. Okay. So I'm never going to be slack on thanking God for giving me a voice and say, well, I done got mine, you know, don't worry about nobody else. Because guess what? I could easily slide back into being one of them nobody else's. You know, we don't know what the system has in store for us. All we have is our integrity and our faith and our truth. So a lot of my practice is representing poor and underserved members of the community. Unfortunately, predominantly women of color, unfortunately, which should be no news to anybody on this cast. Black women are the most victimized demographic in the history of the country. The Black woman, no question about it. So representing them, and, you know, poor whites and Asians also, you know, people of all needs and all courtesies, you know. And so, J Love, I tell people all the time, many of my colleagues were Fortune 500 companies and, you know, going for the big buck. That's good. That's good. That's good. But, you know, there's one thing that a man that has a 1-bedroom house has got in common with a man with a 15-bedroom house. You know what that is, J Love and Reverend Tia?
Mm-mm.
They can both only sleep in one of them at a time. So, so he ain't got nothing over me, okay? You know, he ain't got nothing over me in this 2-bedroom condo. I ain't worrying about it, see, because I got enough room for me to sleep and the guests to sleep, okay? So I'm doing just fine. Thank you very damn much. So here we are. So here we are, J Love, a matter of a perspective. So a lot of my clients are not people in fancy cars that drive over bridges. I've told you before, and it's a crying shame, but it's the truth. A lot of my clients live in day to day, you know, mouth to fist, fist to mouth, and barely one step away from having to sleep under a bridge, tragically, you know. And I want to put a shout out for veterans. A lot of people don't know, a lot of our veterans are committing suicide at an alarming rate, because they're not given the proper mental care and treatment they need from coming back from defending our country, particularly Black and brown soldiers who have been disproportionate in every war we've had. Okay? The Civil War, disproportionate, every war we had, the Vietnam War, World War II, okay, Korea, okay, all these things. So in any event, Hugo J. Mack is my name. And so, well, Reverend Tia, J Love, Dwayne, here we go. If you find yourself on Trouble Boulevard, push, pull, tow, or drag that hoopity to my underground virtual garage. And when you're there, dial the Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. The Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. The Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. Oh, and forgetting to mention, that's Mack Street. Come to Mack Street. And you know, J Love, because the reality of it is, when you parked on Mack Street in my underground garage, my virtual garage, and calling for help, you need to understand, hmaclaw.com is your hookup. hmaclaw.com is your hookup. hmaclaw.com is your hookup. And J Love and Cast, in order to give people an opportunity to write that important information down, I'd like you to excuse me and Aaliyah while we do the slow drag boogaloo. And let's not forget the reintroduction of the slow drag Jans, the Janus. And never ever to be forgotten, with my co-worker Reverend Tia from Pulp Fiction, the slow drag Batman. And a redux one more time, the slow drag boogaloo. And coming into the home stretch once again, the slow drag Janice. Thank you very much, Aaliyah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, you know, J Love, I want you to understand something, J Love. I know the people that come after me, J Love. You're a woman of integrity and character. You'll never tell me. But to all my haters, to all the haters out there, calling this woman, putting a note on this woman's car, stopping this woman at the grocery store. Stop it. Stop it. See, because I know, J Love, these people coming there smiling in my face, J Love, all the time wanting to take my place. Damn backstabbers. So you see, J Love, I'm going to tell you, J Love, I got a message for all the haters. In the words of my late cousin Bernie, I ain't scared of none of y'all. See, I want you to understand that. I want you to understand the truth of where I'm coming from, J Love. And you know what, J Love? You know, J Love, if you used to ever yield to temptation, I hope you wouldn't, and kick me off the show, two things would happen, J Love. You know the first thing that would happen, J Love? You know the first thing I would do?
What? What, Attorney Mac?
I'd go outside, J Love. I'd go outside in the rain. Now, you may say, Attorney Mac, why would you do that? J Love, I'll tell you why. Cause raindrops would hide my teardrops. And no one would ever know that I'm crying, J Love. I'm crying. Deep down, I'm dying. See, J Love, I got my pride. And to the world outside my tears, I refuse to explain, J Love. I just wish it would rain, J Love. I just wish it would rain. And you know what, J Love? If you was kicking me off the show, another thing would happen. You know what you would do to me, J Love? You'd make me the seventh Shylight. Now, you may say, Attorney Mac, how would I do that? I'm listening, J Love.
How would I do that, Attorney Mac?
I tell you, J Love, because I'd go for walks, to the movies, maybe to the park. I'd have a seat on that same old bench and watch the children play. J Love, because tomorrow's their future, but Reverend Tia, for me, it's just another day. See, J Love, if you was kicking me off, I know I can't hide from y'all's memory. Although day after day I try. I wake up saying, today J Love gonna call me back, but at night again, I've lied. So you see, J Love, these things would happen to me, J Love. These things would happen to me. And so, J Love, I just want you to know, if all else fails and you threaten to make that call, terminate me from the show, remember the words of my great friend Morris Day. Ain't nothing worse than rejection, J Love. Rather than kick me off the show, I'd feel a little bad if you just slapped my face. So, see, these things I want you to remember, J Love. So, because J Love, the truth of the matter is, my great friend, the late Otis Redding, said, I've been loving y'all too long, J Love, to stop now. Please, J Love, please. Reverend Tia, tell her, don't make me stop now, please, please. And you know what, J Love? In conclusion, I know people may ask you, J Love, is that man for real? Is he for real? Do he really be meaning that stuff? I got an answer for you. You're damn straight I do. Dr. Hugo J. Mack, Esquire, I endorse this self-serving, self-righteous announcement unashamedly and look forward next week when I can do it again. So yes, J Love. So these statements have been brought from you by Dr. Hugo J. Mack, the one true king of Russia, Scotland, and Lower Harlem. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Attorney Mac.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
So, yes, let's get started, you guys. Last week, we were at the Women's Huron Valley. And Trischè, can you tap in a little bit? We were out there. We were standing up for the women out there. There was, of course, we talk about Krista Clark every week, but there was another woman who was beaten. I think Trischè could tell more about that story, but what happened up there this week impact my whole week. Just listening to the mother talk about how her daughter was beaten and pulled out of the cell naked, and just the horrific things that go on out there. And when we are, we're in our homes, we're safe, we can eat good, we can make choices, we can come and go. And then we have our sisters and brothers who cannot, who feel forgotten. This is a reason for us to stand. So, Trischè, could you tell the story about the other young lady that's up there? That was up there that we were there for as well. And for all the women, we were there really to stand up for all the women. Because there's a great injustice that's going on inside that facility.
Yeah. First of all, thank you to everyone who came. And there's this big misconception about when we pull up to the correctional facilities. I don't know why they call them that because I don't know what it's correcting, but there's a big misconception that, oh, y'all don't get nothing done, I don't get nothing done. Well, guess what? It's because you don't have the vision to see what that's really about. It's double fold. It's a two-pronged thing, right? It's us letting the powers that be know that people watching them, we here, and we're not going nowhere, and we're gonna do some work on the back end and make sure that we can get to the bottom of what's going on. But the other side of it is to let the women know that we see them, that we hear them, that we love them, and that we are so upset about what the injustices that they continue to face over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and no, does the work stop there? No, I think that goes without saying. You can't just pull up and be outside the prison. That there is additional work that has to be done. But see, this thing is a simultaneous work.
Mm-hmm.
We have to try whatever by any means necessary. I had to lapse myself, you don't get nothing done. Well, how many meetings have you had with the governor? I don't see the conditions changing in the prisons at all. So don't say that what some people are doing is not working. What you're doing is not working either, right? What it means is we all gotta put our hands to the plow and continue to do whatever we can by any means necessary. And you think about if this was your daughter, pulled out of her cell, butt naked, clothesline, knocked out, and instead of being taken to get medical help, from my understanding, what I believe or what I've heard, because I did not speak to the family myself, but they were taken to a mental ward. I don't know about anybody else. When you get knocked out, many of things can happen. You could even get bleeding on the brain, right? Anything could happen. If you are knocked out to the point where you lose consciousness, then you need some kind of medical treatment.
Right.
But we all know what medical treatment looks like in that place. So I mean, we were just there to stand with the family, to stand with Crystal, her family. It's just all the women that continue to suffer inside that place that needs to be shut down. And it's not just the women's prison, it is the Michigan Department of Corrections as a whole that needs to be shut down. And then guess what though? When you have measures in place to monitor this, I don't know if y'all seen that article, but the governor wants to suspend the auditor, which audits
Mm-hmm.
many different things in Michigan, but also the Michigan Department of Corrections. So it's like y'all want to do what y'all want to do, and you don't even want the checks and balances that come along with it. I'm
Right.
telling y'all right now, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. People suffering. Don't wait until it's you. We will come though if it's you, but don't wait until it's you.
Right.
Don't wait until it's your loved one. Wake up, because if it happens to one of us, it's happening to all of us, and we need to stand up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We need to stand up. We need to use our voices. We need to, because what happened to one of us can easily happen to any of us at any time. And we talk about this all the time with the wrongful convictions, right? There is no there's no special thing, no special requirements, or none of that for somebody to be wrongfully convicted. Anybody, you could be, come on now. A person was sitting in and eating some Burger King at Burger King, and next thing you know, he was accused of a crime, and he didn't come home from over 20 something years. We hear these stories all the time. Gerard was walking to the store, minding his own business, going to get some change to go to a doctor's appointment, and next thing he's accused of a crime that he didn't do. These things happen more often now more often than not. Now, we're not saying that everybody's innocent because we know that we have some people that do some things, yes. But we're talking that too many innocent people are in these prisons, right? And then when you're there, too many people are being mistreated, being treated inhumanely, not given medical care. Come on now. We're looking at all these tragedies all over the United States. Last night I watched a video that horrified me. And it was these 4 men and over in Palestine walking. And the drones shot them down dead. They wasn't bothering anybody. They didn't have any guns on them. They didn't have anything on it or was doing anything. But those drones shot them down dead. And at first I wanted to put that video up, but then I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna get flagged about this video. So I didn't put it up. But just looking at these things, that can happen here. They have drones here. These police agencies have drones. They fly around in silence. And the more we don't say things, the more we don't do things, it's giving okay. It's giving them the okay. Let's implement that here. Let's implement those kind of things in this area. And they start labeling high crime areas or, whatever the labels they give. And so when we still don't stand, when we still walk around acting oblivious, like these things can't happen, they're happening. They're happening to somebody else. They can easily happen here. So that's why we're going to have this conversation tonight, because we really need to open our eyes. This election season is crazy. A guy with like 90 something indictments is talking about if he don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's like, what the hell is going on? And we still, this is their pick. Come on now, people. We have to stand up. People are mad that people have been voting uncommitted, right? But this is the time to let them know, hey, we need to get stuff done. This is the time to let people know that we're not down with all this foolishness, that we want some things to happen for us. So, and you guys could jump in at any time.
Real quick, and I'm gonna yield the floor because I know I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to uplift this wrongful conviction. In March 6th, to be exact, 2020, Vernell Vass' son was let go by a jury of 12 from his wrongful conviction. He had been there 6 years. In the original trial, 2 videos were withheld by the prosecutor's office, by the police as well, and they didn't make it to the first trial. Second trial, boom, one video was there, but the video that the officer did sign for that showed the angle of the murder mysteriously is missing. Needless to say, boom, jury saw past that, saw the video, and they yielded a not guilty. Well, Mr. Bruner had a co-defendant. That co-defendant is Michael Lawson. He is known as Lucky to his family members and friends. Michael Lawson, as a co-defendant to a crime that a jury said didn't happen. And Michael Lawson, 4 years later, still in prison. With the integrity, with a judge that got a motion to dismiss his case and sent it to the integrity unit. Now you had the power to release him.
Mm-hmm.
but you chose to send it to. If you chose to send it to the integrity unit, you know he innocent. Yet Michael Lawson still sits in prison to this day. And the sad part about it, like many individuals that are in the Michigan Department of Corrections, this man is sick, extremely sick, and they will not let him out. So it's cases like that where justice is clear. You can see it, but you can't even obtain it. What kind of lawless judge would look at something and deem it a wrongful conviction and not even rule on it, but give it to an integrity unit who, when I called them, said, "Well, he can't jump the line." We had a application in with the integrity unit since 2020. How he jumping the line? But see, these are
Right.
the games that are being played with our lives out here. See, because if
Mm-hmm.
you ain't rubbing elbows with the prosecutor like some folks do, if you're not uplifting and singing her praises like some folks do, you liable to not get justice. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
type of sick stuff I'm talking about. So when we say that we need to raise our voices, we got to. It's too much
Mm-hmm.
serious stuff going on. I don't know if y'all seen the American Society of Magical Negroes.
Mm-mm. Not yet.
I don't know if you've seen it, but if you have not seen it, I bid everyone to go and see that movie and decide which side are you on. Are you one that will appease the comfort of those who are in power, or will you stand and tell the truth? Because, see, that's what this show is about tonight. Will you stand up? Will you use your voice? We can't keep looking at these injustices and we don't say anything. We can't keep looking
Mm-hmm.
at these type of things and we don't hold these folks accountable. Because when you do that, you become a participator in the injustice that we continue to see over and over again.
Right. These things are happening on your watch. We can't talk about what happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Right now, injustices are happening in our faces. They're playing in our faces every day.
Every day.
And if we don't do nothing, if we don't say nothing, that gives them a pass to keep it going, keep playing. We had to do our due diligence. We can't wait to the election day to vote for these judges. We had to start looking because you never know when you might need a judge. You want the wrong judge sitting in there when you come in here? No. So it's up to us to start. I know a lot of people like, why am I voting? It's not helping me. No, but not voting is not helping you either. So what are we asking for? We have these so-called systems in place. So what we have to work with what we have to work with right now until we change it. And so right now we got to get in the game. Go ahead, Rabatia.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that's the thing is getting in the game. We can't, I mean, if you look, just take a minute. I don't know if anybody else has done this, but I have done this today. You know how you open up your computer, and as soon as you open it, the news and everything is coming across your feed. And if you notice, if you take time out and read and look and listen to some of the language that is being broadcasted all the time, permeating us, I went ahead and just clicked on headings only. I don't want to see partial of the content. I don't want to see any more content because of the way things are written and how how some of these journalists will just put fear and sex. And I'm not against sex. I mean, I'm here and I have children. I'm not against sex at all. What I'm saying is that's not the only thing. If you take a minute and look at what is being permeated across these waves, people, do you know how many different terms there are? Have you gone across to see how many different terms of sex there is across the just plethora? You all don't even know. Y'all don't know about all the different terms. I had to get the dictionary. I had to go on Google and Google some of the words because I didn't know. And then I wanted to know, why is that the first thing on my feed? Why is it coming up in the news? This isn't even my feed, it's the news. It's the news of the day. And so, in such a way, we've been suckered into believing what the news of the day is, whatever people say it is. And then what happens? We get distracted. How many distractions have we encountered when something serious needed to be addressed for our own community?
Mm-hmm.
For our own community. So at some point, we got to say, what is really important to us? What's important to us? Your life will demonstrate and show what's important to you when you allow it. You know, and it means talking to your family. It means talking to the people in your community. It means identifying who are the real leaders. Who are the leaders that serve? Who are the leaders that just want money? Who are the leaders that just automatically want to be taken care of? That just want their health care? Who are those? Where are the real leaders? But if we keep getting distracted by all these other things, we will never, ever realize the true power that we have. And we can't blame anybody but ourselves. It's time for us to take responsibility, and we have to take accountability first for our own community.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
our
first, we
own
got to
actions.
take accountability for ourselves.
That's right.
You know, if we're not looking at making ourselves accountable, if we're not taking accountability for the things that we do, we can't. Everything else is just, because we can't connect with our families, we can't connect with our friends, we don't see the injustice because we not even taking accountability for ourselves, for what we need to be focused on. We too busy trying to figure out where Kate at all week. We don't care where Kate at all week. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Is this picture fake? Is this not? What does that have to do with what's going on in my community? Right? You trying to distract me with the Royals. I don't care about the Royals. The Royals have been so that whole thing is so oppressive and got so much stuff that we should even be talking about them. But we do. We talk about them like they're really important. But we don't even know what's going on in our own block.
That's right.
In our own neighborhood.
That's true.
Right
That's true.
next door. And so when these things come up in our communities and somebody is getting 2 million for this and $1 million for this project or whatever, you don't even know, why these people are doing all of these things right in your face. So we have to start being more accountable because there's things that we need as a person, as human, and as community. So go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, and Tia, were you about to say something? No? Okay. See, when Reverend Tia speaks, people listen. So see, I know how to stay in my lane. So it's all good. And see, the thing of it is, J Love, is that part of our accountability, and that's why I love this forum, is that our accountability got to start with us being truthful to ourselves and where we live in and how we live in. Because the truth of the matter is, at least in my environment, in my little neck of the woods, I emphasize to my young clients, and yes, a lot of them are Black, a disproportionate amount of them are Black, but maybe that's why God has me here to talk to them, is that there are two systems of justice in America. There are two, and see, part of the problem, J Love, part of the problem, and Black people in the entertainment industry are part of this also. Part of the problem is when you see these police shows, every one of them has got some leading black person in it, Criminal Intent, Law and Order, SVU, what have you. They spend far too much time talking about enforcing the law without talking about the two systems of law. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so and some of these black, these multi-mega million actors, okay, I know that's their job to portray a role, but I guess I'm calling out more and more black people that are quote unquote been successful to understand you got to stop looking at the dollar. You got to stop looking at the dollar. You selling yourself and your soul out, say, well, I got me a mansion in Beverly Hills. But like I said, I don't have no mansion in Beverly Hills. And like I said before, you got 15 bedrooms in your house. I got 2 in mine. We can both only sleep in one at a time. I remember that, y'all. And, when y'all use that, give me credit. Give me credit. Don't plagiarize. Don't plagiarize. So, J Love, because the truth of the matter is, every chance I get, I can't stand this mofo, but I do bring them up when I'm talking to my black clients. Do you honestly think with 86 criminal complaints against you, do you really think you'd be sitting in my office right now? Do you really think so? What you mean by that, Attorney Mack? Oh, I'm not saying we wouldn't be talking, but I'd be talking your ass at the Washington County Jail. That's what we'd be talking at. Okay. Excuse my language.
Right, so, you won't be hopping on no planes going all over the place with all those indictments.
And so what I try to teach is don't try to emulate him. I had one man tell me one time, black guy, hey, the greatest pimp in the history of America is Donald Trump. Now that may be true. That may be true. But don't try to emulate him. Don't try to think that if he can run the hustle, you can, because no, you can't. You'll never get the passes he got. You'll never get the wink and the nod that he's got. You'll never buy people off and not pay your lawyers and stuff the way he does. So don't even think about you can get on the scale because you think you are smart and as intelligent and wily as Donald Trump. Whether you are or not, the fact where you came out your mama's womb looking the way you did, that puts you in a loser's category from that sort of thing from the get-go. And so, that's what I guess for me, J Love, when I hear you and Reverend Tia talk about taking accountability, we got to start telling our young black people the system is rigged, y'all. The game is rigged. So the best way to win that game, just like in that movie, whatever that was, where they're playing tic-tac-toe with that computer is going to blow up the world, is don't play. Don't play.
Right. It's funny, Attorney Matt, that you bring that up, because here's somebody with 80-some indictments talking about injustice.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
He gets to go wherever he wants. He doesn't have an ankle monitor.
No. That's right.
Or nothing. And he's talking about how the system is unjust.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sir.
Right. And J Love, if I can interject this, please do not let go of the fact that Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, Edward Bragg, I believe it is, and the Manhattan, attorney, bringing charges. Those 3 people got one thing in common, okay? One thing in common that Donald Trump hates, and it's veiled racism. You hear me? When he talk about Letitia James and he talking about Fonnie Willis and Bragg, he may not come out and say it, but you better believe in that code message he sent to them people, how dare these niggas assault me? I'm saying it. I'm sorry. If you don't believe me, well, that's up to you. How dare these niggas assault me? Okay, Fonnie Willis threatens, life threats on a regular basis. Letitia James, life threatened on a regular basis. Attorney Bragg, life threatened on a regular basis. But in fairness, Jack Smith, they threatening his life too now. They threatening his life too. But what I'm saying is, when they show Letitia James and these black people doing this, that is a dog whistle to them people. We got to put these niggas in their place. We got to vote, and stop all this. So that's the message I try to get to my young clients, black and white, by the way, because the white, see, the whites need to know this really as much or more than the blacks, to be honest with you, okay? So they can know what this country is based on, and they can know what privilege is, okay? And do something about it. Because the bottom line is, black people couldn't end slavery on their own. A bunch of white people had to be involved in that. Black people couldn't vote for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Some white people had to do that. So we need to educate our white brothers and sisters along with us, J Love. So,
Yeah. Dwayne. Dwayne. We'll come back to Dwayne.
You just said something that was very key, if I can interject.
Go ahead, Trischè.
About our Caucasian siblings. Some don't know, and some do. But because of the magical Negro who will appease the comfort of our Caucasian siblings instead of telling them the truth. When you love somebody for real, you tell them the truth.
That's right.
So what you see is the magical Negro that has learned what racism is and what racism means, and that they think they can't come up against it, so I'll just try to go around it. I'll just maneuver it. I'll just make them comfortable so they'll go away, or so that I can get what I want. But the only thing that does is build individual power. Because once you become an unacceptable black, you can get what you want until you become no longer acceptable.
That's true. That's
true. So this is what we're looking at here. So that this message is for all of us. And I tell people this, I'm telling you this movie, he needed to have me as an ambassador for this movie, boy. Because I watched it and I said, this is what we've been talking about right here. This is, I'm telling Jay, I said, Jay, you gotta go see it. Right? Because you gotta decide what you gonna do. Are you going to continue to be the magical Negro and build individual power? Or are you going to lay down your privilege, challenge the comfort of our Caucasian siblings or anybody else? Because I know a whole bunch of us that's comfortable too. Are we going to challenge people's comfort and do what needs to be done to build community power? That's what's got to happen. If we keep building individual power, they ain't going to get us nowhere but up the creek without
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's true. Yeah. And you know what Trischè said is so true. I'm just going to say this. So to the people who talking about, I got mine, I got my nice house, or maybe my Lexus, my BMW. What Trischè said is so true, because I hopefully some of y'all are listening. You're going to go up the creek just like us. Now, I might be in a canoe going up that creek, and you might be in a 25-foot sailboat. But guess what? Your behind and my behind is still going up the creek. You understand?
Right.
Now, you might get there in a fancier boat than me, but at the end of the day, your ass and me is still stuck up the creek. Okay?
Right.
Thank you, Trischè. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robert.
Well, I am. I was on. You know what? I have to look, because sometimes I'm like, am I muted? But I'm not. And this is the question: am I muted? Are you muted? What has? How come you don't speak up? And I have to tell you that that what has happened in life is that we're used to, and you have to ask yourself, I don't want to just include everybody, but some people have been used to playing along to get along.
That's right. That's
playing
right.
the game just to be included.
That's right.
I used to hear from older people in my family, well, you have to sometime kiss butt before you can kick it. And I hated that. I hated that statement from my soul. I didn't want to kiss anybody's behind. I wanted to kick butt, but I didn't want to kiss. And what I discovered as a young girl was that kissing up just made you a kisser for life. You just keep kissing. Because there's no, and all of this is just, it's a fake idea of what's important.
Mhm.
When we change our values, then we can change our mind, and then we can change our community. But we have to look at, what do we value?
Mhm.
And we can tell, I can tell what you value by where you spend your money, by how you spend your time. It's
Mhm.
not hard. It's not hard for me to see if somebody is trying to date me. I can tell if you value me or not. I can tell that. And we have to be able to tell first for ourselves, am I valuing myself? What am I doing?
Mhm.
And then what am I doing with the people I love and in my community? So we got to start looking at, who are the people that we need to lift up? Who are the people? So I did send a message out. Inbox us. Inbox us. Inbox Turning a Moment into a Movement. You can inbox me personally. Let me know what is your testimony? What is the testimony from the person who you think is a great leader?
Mhm.
What do you have? Are you willing to share it? Where are the leaders at? And then that way we can go to the polls. Like my mother used to say, you don't want to go to the polls ignorant of who you should be voting for. You can't just go to the poll and just go any, mini, miny, mo.
Right.
Like something. I had somebody say, well, I said, well, how'd you do when we were in school and you had to take the ACT? And they said they got so tired, they just started doing any, mini, miny, mo.
But that's what we doing at the polls. For real, Reverend T, for real. That's it. Because when you have and I'm just gonna say it, when you have a prosecutor, and when you have a prosecutor office that has been for over, Miss Diane been doing this, for over 20-some years? So for over 20-something years, you done had tons of corruption go on unaccounted for. You have tons of wrongful convictions. You have tons of crap going on, and you keep voting that same person in because you are not, oh, I'll just vote for her. But then you want to complain later. You can't complain. How dare you complain? You cannot complain because you did not do your due diligence.
That's true.
So, and then when you have someone that possibly could be a better candidate, you don't do enough on your own to say, hey, we need something different. We need something different now. And guess what? We can make that happen. We keep saying, oh, well, not in my lifetime. I heard somebody said that the other day. I don't think wrongful convictions would be, over in my lifetime. I don't think injustice would be, or racism would be over in my lifetime. Really? You I don't think that. I think things can be changed in my lifetime
That's right. That's
because
right.
I'm standing up here to make a change. I'm coming on here so somebody can hear it. We giving out information every week. We putting out people that can help you make a change. So now the change is on you. You have to be willing to say, hey, I want something different. I don't want this for my grandkids. I don't want this for my friends or my family members. I don't want to have to be calling Attorney Hugo Mack. I don't want to call the Freedom Line. I want to be free.
Right.
But if you don't say nothing, you don't do nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. That's just how it is.
That's right.
That's just
right.
also 100. If you don't say nothing, don't do nothing, you don't expect nothing.
That's right.
But
What's
that's
that?
what we
Nothing
were
for
trying to
nothing
do.
leaves nothing.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's what we
That's
were
right.
trained to do, though, and that's what makes this even more sick, because our ignorance was on purpose.
Mm.
We were rocked to sleep. I understand there were generations of us that weren't taught to stand. You got to think about it. Before the Civil Rights Act, if you stood up, you'd be hung from a tree. You would be dragged from a truck. Sometimes they would do a horse and rip people in half.
Right.
Yeah.
These are the things
Yeah.
that were happening to us. So I understand why we want the easy road. But what does it cost us in the end?
That's true.
That's what I want us to think about. What has trading in, standing up for comfort really got us as a whole? And if
Yeah.
we're not looking at that, because see, someone said, it might have been I believe Attorney Hugo Mack, or it might have been Reverend Tia, but it's this false sense of peace that we have until it happens to us.
That's right.
Mm.
That's
And
right.
then when it happens to us, then we understand. And I'm gonna be honest, I used to be a magical Negro. I didn't know that I was one.
I was one.
I didn't know that I was one. But and honestly, you get so magical that you get caught up in it and you
Right.
forget who you are. I used to be telling people, I mean, I know that there's racism, but if we just pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, then we'll be all right. You just gotta have some drive. You gotta have some motivation. And I'll be doggone when I went up there to Easter and I got my card revoked. Because see, I don't care. Every last one of us are up for it to get that reminder that you are Black. I don't care how deep you go and assimilate into whiteness, you will always get that reminder that you are Black. So when I got it, I said, let me tell you something. I called the Department of Education. I was writing the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, and I wrote everybody that I could write about this injustice. But as I sit here now in hindsight, and I think, how many times did I downplay injustices that happen to our people? How many times, because of my level of privilege, did I not see what our people was going through? And how dare me say, oh, we can make it. All we got to do is pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. And then I fell ill with this chronic illness, and my boots were removed. I didn't have no boots for the straps.
That's right.
God made me look at systems. If you are a Black person and you don't understand systems, you are living beneath your privilege. And I am so sorry to take up all of this time, but I'm telling you, if we don't take the time now, we're going to have to pay in the end.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was a magical Negro too, until I got ran up on, minding my own business.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was magical. I was like, hey, it's okay, it's wonderful. I'm living my happy life. Then I turned around and it was police behind me, point guns, talking about follow them. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. and they kept telling me to confess to pulling a knife on a white woman, because when she got over here, she was going to pick me out and I was going to go to jail. But if I wanted it to go easy on me, I need to tell them what happened. I was in shock. So when my son said what happened to him, I already knew. It happened to me, and I wasn't even doing nothing. I went to get a CD. You know what I'm saying? I went to, and thank God the lady, when they pulled up with the lady, because they did, she said no. And you know what they told me? My magical self? They said, would you want this? You would want us to be like this if this was you. When you want us to go this hard if it was you? Oh my goodness. So I'm just saying, when we sit back and when we don't engage, when we don't read, when we don't participate, when we don't just stand up, when we don't go to meetings, when we don't go to the school board meeting, when we don't go to any meetings that concerns our communities, our neighborhoods, our streets, when we don't participate, we are losing our voice. And guess what? It's not going to come back. Somebody else is going to be telling you, because that's what's going on. Somebody else is telling us what we need. Oh, there are defunding diversity and equity inclusions.
Right.
All over, all the colleges, they're defunded. They're not giving them any money. If you have this at your college, you're not getting any funding. At workplaces, people are losing their jobs. They're saying that, hey, there's no racism. We're all, equal and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And we're sitting back like, hey, there's nothing, we're not saying nothing. We're not even rocking the boat. We ain't even talking about it, even on Sundays. I hate to say it. We're not talking about it. We're not having these conversations when we're all together. This is not the conversations we have, but these are the conversations that we need to be having. We need to be talking to our children, because they are in these spaces more, and we need to be 100. We need to be 100 about it. Go ahead, Attorney Matt.
Well, the thing of it is too, and I know I preach this all the time, but when we talk about, accountability and stuff, we got to be able to stand up, and I see it all the time in court. I know there are more Black people eligible to be on jury duty than what I'm seeing. I know there are. Okay. And I can tell you what an uphill battle it is when you know that you don't even have a chance unless you've got some of our brothers and sisters that are social justice minded, that are really social justice minded and look beyond privilege, announced and unannounced, how difficult it is to confront somebody like that who wants to be on a jury. You see, because a lot of these judges, they don't want a bunch of questions asked of that jury. They just want you, go on now, boy, go on. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few objections, peremptory challenges, and what have you, but we're gonna pick this jury and we're gonna get on with this. Don't be asking a bunch of questions about race. Don't be asking a bunch of questions about class. I'm cutting all that off, and they'll do it. And they'll do. Oh, by the way, including the Black ones, I might add. Excuse me, including the Black ones, I might add. See, so for me, when I don't even have a chance, of trying to have somebody there that I think can relate to, just call a fair shot. See, excuse me for a minute. Let me just say this before my head explodes, okay? Let me just say this. All Black people have ever wanted is a fair shot. That's it. That's all we wanted, is a fair shot. We know the system is rigged, but if you give us a fair shot, I believe in our humanity that we will stand up and assert ourselves, okay? And if it's true that somebody is guilty of a crime, well, then be accountable for that. But don't put me perpetually behind the 8 ball and try to say the system is fair, because it's not. When I know that Black people are 12% of the population of Washtenaw County, and I see a jury veneer is maybe 1% Black, 1%, what's up with that? What's up with that? Okay. And then when I see Black people, quote unquote, Black people that are on the sheriff's department, but yet, or any police department, but yet adopt the policeman's mantra over their own humanity. See, you haven't done anything to me. You have not impressed me, because all you've done is change the color of my oppressor from white to Black. That's all you've done. That is all you've done. So, that's why I'm saying that I tell Black people, please, when it comes to this jury duty thing, help us. Please help us. Even if you don't get on the jury, your presence means something. And that's why I say, God bless Trischè, God bless Reverend Tia, God bless J Love, God bless Allie, people who know the importance of showing up. When the Grady Ill trial was going on, I know one person that was there other than Grady Ill. I know Trischè was there. I know she was there, and her presence means something, so we got to start at least showing up. Okay. At least a spot check, please, Black people, I'm appealing to you, and whites and other people of good conscience, help me, because when I see you, I get strength. See, that's what people understand. You say, well, you up there on the front line, Attorney Mack. That's true. But I need to see somebody that's got my back. Okay. Somebody's got my back. Okay. And so, I'm sorry. That's all I got.
No, Attorney Mack, that's 100. That's 100, because I just can recall when I was in the, for Gerard, when they were picking a jury, there were like 3 Black people, and 2 of them made an excuse for reasons why they needed to leave. And so we're talking about, you want to have a jury of your peers, and your peers roll out on you. And so we need each other. What's that sign? We need each other to survive. We do. We do.
That's right.
And if we're not showing up for each other in the spaces and the places that are necessary, we have trouble. And that's why we have 40,000 people inside the Michigan Department of Corrections. Over 20 something that's been there since the 60s.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Since the 60s.
It's ridiculous.
Inhumane. So when we talk about these inhumane systems that are happening every day, that still to this day, we as the people, we must do something. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. I know what Trischè was talking about, they was being hung from the trees. We're still being lynched today, but we're being lynched differently.
That's true.
They're not hanging us from the tree, but they're shooting us down in the streets.
That's true. That's true.
A traffic stop can get you shot down right in the street.
That's true. That's true.
So we're still being lynched even in 2024.
That's true.
That's right. That's right. And Jay, we gotta remind ourselves, a lot of times we're believing the myth that they believe. Because that's all they're going on, is these myths that are not even true. The one is that people of color, particularly Black and Latino, are criminals inherently. Like they're born a criminal.
That's right.
They did studies, and the children are saying, little Black boys are saying they hope they get to live. They're not sure if they're going to live past a certain age by the time they're 18. Then you got the myth that they're a danger and a threat. How many times do you clutch your purse just because a Black man is walking past you? We have to ask ourselves, do you say hello? Say hello.
Right.
How many times do you jump just because you didn't know a person was there? I'm not a
Right.
jumper. Used to be a jumper. I'm not a jumper. Some of this stuff is taught.
Yeah.
We've been taught to hate ourselves.
Uh,
And you got to dig deep and say, okay, is that me? So I'm asking, if this is you, these are the corrections you have to do on the inside of you. And then we got to look at the community too. But you're part of the community. We are all
Right.
part of this community.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about the lack of humanity and empathy? They think African Americans or people of color are so hard they don't hurt. Oh, it's not going to hurt her that bad.
And the
Why? Because they
same
were used to think, yeah,
Yeah.
and the same narratives, they're using that to the migrants.
the same ones.
The same narrative. They're criminals. They're, they're doing this. They're committing all these crimes. They're running those same narratives.
Yeah, and look. I'm sorry, J Love. You used some. I just got to speak on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting in line, Trischè and y'all and Dwayne. I'm sorry for cutting in line. This really pisses me off. When you talk about border control and you brag about your European ancestry, you came over here, you raped these people, you took their land, you gave them smallpox, you put them on a trail of tears from Florida to Oklahoma, where over 75,000 of them died. You got the nerve, and some of these are some Uncle Tom Indians. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you placate these people. You buy Manhattan, the richest piece of real estate in the world, by the way. The most valuable piece of real estate is the island called Manhattan. You rape these people for beads and trinkets and some mirrors and maybe some flintlocks and get that. And then you got the nerve, when you do this to these people, you got the nerve to talk about border control. See, that's the thing that gets me. And furthermore, by the way, for all you comfortable black folks, and I haven't seen this movie Magical Negro, but after hearing what Trischè said, I'm damn sure gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I'm gonna look it up because she done got me intrigued now. So what I'm saying is, you see, and by the way, Ellis Island was never intended to apply to black and brown people. Okay, the Statue of Liberty was never, ever, ever intended to apply to black and brown people. So for all the flag wavers talk about my country right or wrong, black folks, riding with these conservatives and these evangelicals. Don't get me started on my evangelical brothers and sisters. Please don't get me started on that. Please don't. Please don't. Kenneth Copeland, who I used to follow quite a bit, please don't. So what I'm saying is, when Ellis Island was never intended for black folks, when they had quotas allowing Eastern Europeans, Irish, Italian, French in here because they wanted that workforce. They never intended for black people to be equal like that. So when you talk about the greatness of America, which aspects of it are great, but it's my country and I got a right to make it better and responsibility. You're tired, you're poor, you're huddled mass, you want to be free, except for blacks. Y'all go to the Statue of Liberty right now and look at that statue. And I'm gonna buy each and every one of you a dinner at KFC, including drink and a dessert, if you don't see in that little small print, except blacks. you got to look real close on that.
Dwayne closer to the statue to the hourglass.
Dwayne, go there for us, brother. You got to look real close on that side. real close. Hey, Tia. Now, it might be worn down because of the weather now, a little bit. But they got that little asterisk. In sports books, they put a little asterisk next to it when it's a questionable championship. The little asterisk, except blacks. Prove me wrong, y'all. Prove me wrong.
I can't, Attorney Mac. I cannot because
oh my God.
The actions. I see the actions, so
yeah.
I'm just, I just want
for them to get rid of the diversity, everything is a lie. Everything. you know, when you look at it, I woke up one day, it's a lie. I understand why who was that? Vanity, vanity, vanity. That's Solomon. You know, it's all vanity.
That's
If we really looked at it, we could change this thing in a holy second if we shift our perception to us.
Right.
But keep looking outside of ourselves, going after what other people want. Whatever trinket they put in front of you. Oh, we doing this now. This is the thing to do now. You know, this is now we're walking like a chicken. Now we're walking like a duck. Now we're, you know, this is the thing we're gonna do now. You know, we just follow whatever.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
and I remember as a young girl, I wanted to do things my friends were doing because they got to stay out later than I did, you know. And I would say, well, so and so is doing it. They get to go. They get to. You're not so and so. You're not her. If she jumps off a bridge, you gonna jump off a bridge.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
Some of them will.
And so we get to choose.
The magical one.
Yeah. We gotta choose us.
The magical ones
We gotta
jumping off
choose
the
us.
bridge.
Yes.
They think they gonna pop back up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So they don't tell the truth because they don't want us to know the truth, but we can still know the truth. That's why you have to teach the truth at home.
That's right. That's right.
Our truth
That's
has to be taught at home. We can't wait for the school to teach our truth. You
That's
think
Right.
Chinese, Asian people are waiting for our systems
No.
to teach
No.
them
No.
their
No.
history in school?
No.
We the
That's
only
right.
ones sitting around waiting for somebody else to pour
Right.
into us. If you
That's right.
don't stop it
That's right. That's right.
For
And
real,
and
they
get
get
back
tired.
into
They
your
don't want to
house.
teach you.
yeah,
They over it because they don't want to feel bad no more.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Right.
They're
yeah.
over it. I don't want
Right.
to feel guilty. I don't want my kid to feel bad no more. I ain't got nothing to do with it. We ain't teaching this no more. You
Yeah,
right, Reverend Tia. So
yeah.
what were we gonna fight for? No, we need to know our history. We need because it's important to know who you are, right?
Yes.
So once you know who you are and you know your history, you could teach your own history. You don't have to be waiting on somebody else to tell you, hey, they weren't even telling you about Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Until all of a sudden became a holiday and now they can make, commercialize. It's all kinds of t-shirts and everything out.
Right, right,
Uh
right,
at
right.
every store, Target. Target
And
got a
then,
whole Juneteenth line.
and then,
You
and then,
know, but
right. And remember, J Love in Florida, okay, with that idiot Ron DeSantis,
mm-hmm.
Donald Trump's nephew. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and he endorsing Donald. But I'm sorry. See, he endorsing Donald Trump, and the man still talking about him like a dog. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just us, okay? But it impacts us, J Love, and like
Right.
and like talk about and what you're saying, everybody talking about teaching, because remember in Florida, all that old diversity teaching and all that stuff, that's out.
That's over with.
See,
Right.
they
over with.
they didn't put a stop to that. As a matter of fact, what they're saying is slavery wasn't all that bad. I mean, a lot of people got skills in slavery.
Right.
Okay. Between being beaten, horsewhipped, castrated, and have babies come out of them. Yeah, between all that, yeah, sure.
It was pretty good. You got a skill.
Yeah,
It's skill trade.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Pick cotton with skill. But let's just bring this full circle, right? So, okay, they treated Black people so bad, but guess what? You could be next. You could be the next person, the next group on the line.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
The Blacks, they got it. They got it good, but it's a whole lot of other people that could get it too.
Yeah.
Because these billionaires and the billionaires, they're more billionaires now than ever been in corporations, right? And they're running this stuff. And so, what's that saying? You didn't say it happened to me and you didn't say nothing.
Right.
Now it's happening to you.
Right. That's true.
So I'm just saying, like, we're all one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all one.
Yeah,
So what can happen to one can happen to the other.
That's right.
that's
And
right.
we've been the poster child of this for a long time.
That's right.
And so now there are other groups that's coming up that's want to be in America because they believe in the dream. And they want to have that dream. But
Yeah.
that you want to have that dream can get you right where we are.
That's right.
Telling you, you know, so it ain't like about race, really. It's more about culture and money,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so we
Yeah.
have to, you know, when Trischè said, you know, our siblings, our Caucasian siblings and our Italian siblings and our Mexican siblings, all of us, if we
Mhm.
ain't in that bracket, really, we are the same. Because these people up here that's running this stuff, they don't care about y'all either. Really?
That's right. That's
To be
right.
Yeah,
honest,
That's right.
they
That's right. That's right.
that's
That's
right.
right.
don't care about
That's
you.
right.
Really, to be honest.
Mhm.
They only thing they care about is that bottom line.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And
If
and
it's
J
bringing
Love
in money, that's when they want you.
and and
Right.
and J Love, I'm gonna say this to end my comments. The systemic racism is so embedded,
Hmm.
okay, that you have a group of people poor as dirt that will spend that money to send to an idiot who is using their money to pay his own damn bills. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He's using their
Hmm.
money.
Mhm.
Why? Why? Because he stands against the niggers. That's
Yeah.
why he stands against the niggers. Them
Mhm.
people are so self-hating. Talk about black people being self-hating. Some of these, as and I like what Shay said. I think she said
Mhm.
our Caucasian siblings. I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
Our
Mhm.
Caucasian siblings, some of them are so full of hatred for us. They will be willing to really destroy themselves just
Mhm.
so they can say they got us. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you, if the system falls, okay, it ain't gonna fall just on us. I'm telling you that right
Mhm.
now. Okay. You know, with the pandemic and coronavirus, they were saying
Mhm.
keep that in the black communities. It didn't stay there. It didn't stay
Hmm.
there. Okay.
Hmm.
So, so if they get martial law in this country, them people, them poor, as Trischè said, our Caucasian siblings, you're gonna find out. Oh yeah, they may get us first. Probably,
Mhm.
probably. We're easily identifiable.
Right.
But like y'all been saying, it's gonna come around. He ain't gonna stop with
Yeah.
us. He ain't gonna stop
Right.
with us. So, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Just
That's
like
right.
wrongful,
That's right.
just take us back to wrongful convictions, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
Wrongful
Yep.
convictions were the foundation of slavery. When they couldn't have you as a slave, they just started making up reasons to put you in prison.
That's true.
And
Mhm.
so
That's true.
all these people, even poor whites, were snatched
Mhm.
up, you know.
Yep.
And so we have to look at these things that's happening. If it's happening to one, it can happen to us all. So just
Mhm.
like they, you know, I was looking at the video when I was talking in the beginning of the young men who was just shot down by drones. You know, we have to think about all these things
Yeah.
when we like act like, well, that's over there. I don't have, believe me, they have drones here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Those
yeah.
same
Mm.
Oh
things
yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
happen here.
Oh,
What you gonna do? You could do
that's
if
right.
you don't start saying nothing now, if you don't
Oh yeah.
start paying attention to policies now, if you
Oh
don't
yeah.
start looking at what they're trying to pass now, if you're
That's
not
right. That's
being
right.
aware
Right.
of the things that's happening now, there's some bullets can come raining out the sky on you.
My Lord.
So
J Love, they brag about the drones that Homeland Security and the Detroit Police Department have at, in Detroit. Downtown by the
Mhm.
waterfront, like Hart Plaza and all that. They brag about that, J Love. Everything you saying is 100% true, J Love. You know, people don't notice them. They're high flying drones, but you better believe they got telescopic lenses. They can pick you out having a sandwich at the waterfront. You absolutely right, J Love. You're absolutely right.
Reverend Tia was just talking about the dogs, the robots they have.
I don't doubt it for a minute.
Right. They got the dogs that they sending in, and
you know,
all kinds of robots with bombs and stuff.
Right.
They can just send in. They don't have to kick in the door no more. They just send the robot in.
Right.
All of these things that you think is so far away, they're right here in your face.
And anytime the legislature puts up laws that makes a police dog like a police officer, and you shoot or kill, like Shay was saying, a dog. This is a dog. We're talking about a dog, okay? A dog now, and you go to prison indefinitely for that. That shows you something right there. That shows you something right there. But that dog can damn near rip your arm off. And I've had many a clients been attacked by police dogs. Many a client, okay? That dog can damn near rip your arm off. Well, shouldn't have been trying to resist. Well, you know, they got a right to do that. And well, that's okay. All right then. Okay.
It's time definitely for a change. And we gotta change ourselves. I mean, I can't even say it enough. I can't say it enough. That change has to happen within. It has to happen within your mind, and you gotta stop believing all the lies. And start calling out the lies. Some people would, and you gotta ask. This is the other thing. And I'm gonna lay off. Stop being so doggone virtual. People are so into virtual that you're not even into what's real anymore. You're so used to virtual, so you're okay with a robot. You're okay with all the different ways that AI is being used, even to the point. And I'm not dogging out all of technology. Believe me, I know we have to use it sometimes, but I'm looking at how it does not always bring people together. It can be used for that, but it can also be used to separate. How many separate groups do we have now? I mean, think about it. We have been dividing and dividing again and dividing again, and ultimately what we've divided, I mean, even to the point where you divide the family over again and again and again. And then you're dividing the people. And so you're okay with whatever is virtual. And because you're okay with whatever is virtual, it's easy. It is easy for anybody to come in and take over. And take over you and take over what you have. Why? Because you're not standing for anything. There's no collective nothing going on. And so you'd rather just go ahead. Yeah, the cameras pick up and they even tell you.
Yeah, they done tricked you to believe that these cameras all over the place is gonna keep you safe. No, they're cameras, and we ain't gonna use them to look at you. We ain't gonna what?
And J Love, I just got to interject this right here. You and Tia and Trischè are so right. You know, I've been watching Equalizer, you know, because I like Queen Latifah. I think she is budded as an actress, by the way, you know, and stuff. I like Queen Latifah. But when you look at the Equalizer, when you look at NCIS, when you look at Law and Order Special Victims Unit, when you look at what all these other these police investigative type shows, and they show you drone shots where they can track people, when if you never watched Equalizer, the CIA information about you made a phone call at this point in time, you know, you spent this kind of money here, you know, we got cameras can damn near look through walls and thermal imaging, all that stuff. They're not just making that up in some writer's desk in some room.
No.
All that is real, y'all. That is real. Okay. So, you know, you need to understand, and look, J Love, I agree with what you said. All those cameras, they may have a role, maybe, you know, in crime, but they have an equal or bigger role in watching you. And by the way, who is to tell you only law enforcement has access to that information? Who is to tell you the government itself might label J Love as subversive? Or look who she thinks she is. She got that thing coming on Fridays, spreading dissension. And Reverend Tia, she need to stay up there where she is. And Attorney Mack, he need to be quiet. He barely got back in. What's his black behind up there on a damn podcast? He need to be kissing our butts for him getting back in. He the last one to be talking.
Telling you, they have programmed us to believe in our own demise.
That's right. That's right.
And we got to first remember who we are.
That's right. That's right.
Because change starts with us. Change starts with you first.
That's right.
Once you change, everything around you started to change.
And you know what? I got to say this about my sister Trischè. One thing I really love about her, I've seen that woman on the front line. She really don't care. She don't care. I mean, I've seen that woman out there. That woman don't care. She's telling y'all, hey, y'all, I don't care.
Trischè do care because we were out there Saturday and somebody said we eat bullets, and Trischè was like, we don't eat no bullets.
Yeah, because we gonna eat some bullets. I said, I ain't eating no bullets.
Right. Hey, Trischè.
I'm with you, Trischè. I ain't eat that either.
Trischè, I remember back. I remember something interesting about Trischè. I just got to say this. Back in 2020, right around that time, there was an incident. There was a person that was a mayor of the city of Ypsilanti, right? Mm-hmm. And so this person had made to me some blatantly racist comments, right? And so we was at a protest downtown Ypsi, and then somebody said, yeah, we're gonna go up to her house and march out up to her house on her porch. And she said, I ain't going. Trischè said, no, y'all ain't finna get me arrested. I ain't going.
What I really should have said was, I ain't finna take my black ass to her house and get arrested. But you know what? Even that, and even something like that puts me in check. I learned a lot in 2020, right? About all of that, because even that was by any means necessary. We did a protest. People came out. We marched. Boom. They went to her house at 9 a.m. in the morning. We received her resignation that next day. So it's by any means necessary, y'all. We can, say, hey, yeah, I wasn't going to her house, because guess what? I'll be the main one get arrested.
That's right.
They want to arrest me around here. So, but guess what? God was done, and that lady was out of there.
That's true.
But yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I did say that. Like, somebody was like, I'm willing to die for this. I said, hold on. Now I will push the envelope, but I want to live. That's right. I'm willing to live for this.
That's right.
Yes. So thank you, guys. I just want to put in a reminder that this Saturday from 10 to 1 is the wrongful conviction support group. And join us. Trischè has these groups. It's very, if you've been dealing with a wrongful conviction, impacted by a wrongful conviction, this family member or someone who's been wrongfully incarcerated, this is a place where you can come together with like-minded people and be supported. So join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. and also at 1.
Yeah.
Survivor Speaks has a wrongful conviction task force, and we talking about making stuff happen. Qualified immunity, that's number 1 on our list. Ain't that right, Attorney Matt?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yes, join us for that. And then on April 10th at 6 p.m., turning a moment into a movement. We're gonna be at Oakland University talking about wrongful convictions. we're going to be bringing Attorney Mac, Trischè, Revatia, Larry, exoneree Larry Smith with us, and he's going to talk about his journey in wrongful conviction, being wrongfully convicted. So join us. We're out here. We're going to not only talk to each other, we're going to educate our community, our other brothers and sisters.
That's right.
So we have to, that's our responsibility to educate each other, because people don't know until they hear our stories. So we have to tell these stories, because the young man who put this together, he didn't know, but he put it together. And so I just want to stand up for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone.
Yes.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes.
Unmute. Stand up. Use your voice. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next Friday on Turning a Moment into a Movement. Good night.
Y'all be blessed. Be blessed now.
Peace.
Good night.